Welcome. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to play this note. That is what some call high F, using the first valve. And what I'm going to do is take you through some very simple steps on how you can master this note and get it under your fingers, get it in your head. So bust that horn out, get it out the case. I know it's late, I'm streaming, but if you want to catch this on the replay, you can, and play it later. But play along with me. I want to do some exercises, some very easy exercises to help you with this note and get it down pat. So, but before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, my name is Aaron, and on this channel I help trumpeters learn, practice, and grow so you can have more fun playing music on this instrument. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe for more videos like this, more tutorials. Oh, and Happy New Year, by the way. Happy New Year 2022 in full effect. So welcome. We got two sections for you today. The first section is going to be a set of exercises, what I call addition. And then section number 2 is going to be a section about subtraction. And just follow along with me if you can. And just play what I play. However, there is a PDF that goes along with this tutorial. So just go to the description box either below or above this video. Click on the first link in that description box and you can get access to it. Now, the reason why I'm doing this lesson is because I got a comment on one of my videos, the F major scale video, saying, and this is by, I think, Shirag Daglani. He says, or they say, I can't seem to get up to the highest F. Any tips? And so, of course, I had plenty of tips, and I felt like this was a good video to do, to kind of address everything that you can, that I try to do when I'm trying to master a note. So, with that being said, let's get started with section 1. What's up, everybody that's here live? So, no, we're not talking about double high C above. We're not talking about the F above high C. We're talking about that good old F on the 5th line. So happy New Year to everybody. Thank you for showing up. Please like and share the video. Please like and share the video. No, I didn't change my time. So Cameron, we're gonna help you play that today. So the first section is about addition. And so the series of these exercises is just scale your notes leading up to F. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to slur everything. We're going to slur everything and just add one note to it. So here's the first exercise. This is section 1. First exercise. So we're just going to start real easy. So we're going to start on F and play up to C. So if you know your C major scale, just start on F and go up to C. And what I want you to do is during this entire thing, I want you to start soft. Start at the piano or the softest dynamic you can to kind of just back off on the sound a little bit. And then as you ascend the scale, just crescendo just a little bit to a mezzo piano. Not too loud because we don't want to blow the lips apart. Okay? So what I played was F, G, A, B natural to C. Okay? Let me play that again and play right after me. What up, Cyrus? Now, I have to warn y'all, this isn't the F above high C. Usually with a lot of trumpet players, me included, this note is really, for some reason, hard to kind of lock in. See how I missed it? That note. All right, so now let's play that first exercise. I'm gonna play it and then you play it. Here we go. Now, when you hold out that C, that last note, hold it out until you can't hold it any longer. But what I don't want you to do is squeeze your lips at the end of that note. I just want you to release, to relax and release. Relax the body and just stop blowing or stop trying to blow. What you don't want is to squeeze the lips at the end of the breath. And the reason why I'm telling you to hold it until you get to the last note is that what you want to do is learn that note, get familiar with that note, gain a deeper relationship with that note, the type of air you need, the type of airstream you need, the type of airstream, the type of air support, the type of oral cavity shape you need for that note. Okay, now let's do the same thing, but we're gonna go up to F sharp. So it's gonna sound like this. This is number 2. Number 3, we're going to go up to D. So after we hit C, we're just going to keep chromatically going up, adding notes until we get to F. All right, so this is number 3. We're going to go F, G, A, B, C, C sharp, D. And if you don't want to have to remember all that, I do have a PDF. Just click the first link in the bio. Not in the bio. This ain't Instagram. Click the first link in the description, either above or below this video. So this is number 3. So while I'm doing this, I'm backing off on the volume, the dynamic as I go up, because it's a lot easier to play softer as you go higher, because as you go higher and you're going to have the temptation to play louder, and what that's going to do is it's going to give you a more open aperture, and you might be tempted to blow those lips right open. So play this at a very soft dynamic, dynamic that you can control with good tone, but on the softer side of that. Okay, very simple exercise, but we're adding notes and we're getting comfortable and familiar with each and every single note, the type of air we need, the type of oral cavity shape we need, the type of the type of air support that we need. All right, now let's go up to D sharp. Same thing. After we hit C, we're gonna go up chromatically up to D sharp. So it's gonna sound like this. All right, now let's go to number 5 in section 1, just going up to E. Now we're adding E to the scale year thing. Again, be as soft as you can, crescendo just a little bit until you get to that last note. Hold it out for as long as you can, get familiar with the note as you hold it out. Then relax and release. Do not squeeze the middle of the lips to hold out that last note. Just relax and release it. So this is section 1, number 5. Number 5. We're going up to E. F, G, A, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. Now, the reason why I like to do addition to this, or addition this way as far as range, is because I get a deeper understanding of what each note needs. The just enough air concept that I talked about in my last video, why you can't play trumpet effortlessly, is because we need to understand what's just the bare minimum air we need to play each and every single note. Okay? All right, so the last exercise in this section, section 1, we're going up to that F. And a lot of people have problems with that F, even me. So it's just a matter of just reaching it and playing it and get familiar with it. So let's play section 1, number 6. So we're going to play F, G, A, B natural, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, and then lastly F. Play softer. Crescendo just a little bit up to mezzo piano as you go up. Now, next section, section 2, is subtraction. And so in the first section, we added notes to the end. Now what we're going to do is subtract notes from the beginning. And then as we go throughout the exercises, we're going to keep subtracting notes until we're able to hit F right on the money. Hit F as soon as we breathe in, breathe out, hit that F. So play all these with me or after me. So let's start with section 2. Section 2, number 1. Okay. Happy New Year. All right, so it's going to sound like this. So we started on F. The next one, number 2, we're going to start, instead of on F, we're going to start on G. And F, the highest F, is always going to be our last note. And so we're going to just hold out that F for as long as we can, just to get familiar with it. And then slowly but surely be able to hit that note right away. All right, now let's do number 2. We're gonna start on G instead of starting on F. And it sounds like this. Section 2, number 2. All right, now let's start on A. Let's start on A. So we start on G, now we start on A. Last note is going to be F. Hold it out. Make sure you're still playing soft. And as you go up, what we're going to do is transfer the tone quality from note to note. So what you want to be able to do is make sure that the tone doesn't change from beginning to end. The tone remains the same. This is why I do it this way. So I'm ironing out all the crevices, all the creases, all the maybe gravel in my sound. And I want to make sure everything is nice and pure, a pure tone, a straight tone from beginning to end. I'm just taking you through my thought process really quickly. I usually do this along with the drone or with music, as you can hear just a little bit in the background, just because I'm always want to apply this to music, always. We don't play trumpet just to play exercises, we play trumpet to play music. So I always try to incorporate music in any way that I can when playing exercises. All right, let's start with A. Start with A, go up, and hold out that F. If you like this video, please go ahead and like the video, share the video with your friends if someone's having trouble with this. And the reason why I'm calling it the high F, only because a lot of people on my channel are comeback players or beginners, and they're really having a tough time with that 5th line F. Heck, I have trouble with that F sometimes, and for some reason it's a tricky note to get a hold of. So I like to just iron it out this way. Okay, so now let's start on B. Start on B, same thing. We're going to do this practically like the same scale almost. So we're going to play pretty much C major, the notes from C major all the way up to C, and then chromatically up to F after we play that C. Okay, again, if you want the PDF to this so you don't have to memorize or try to remember notes, go ahead to the first link in the description box, either above or below this video. Also, I have other exclusive content there on patreon.com/theblacktrumpeter, and I keep hitting my bell on my stand. Jesus. All right, here we go. Now let's play. Let's start on B. Start on B. Kind of lost my place, but let's start on B. Play the same scale going up to F. All right, now let's just run through it. Let's start on C. Start on C, go up to F using the same type of scale we're doing. And don't worry if you missed this, if you're watching live and you're in the middle of this, the replay will be available on my channel at youtube.com/theblacktrumpeter. So don't worry about it. Or you can scrub back, you can rewind it here live if you missed it, if you want to start from the beginning. All right, here we go. Let's start on C. Go up to F, hold it out, Make sure you play soft. Now, if you notice that my air stopped at the end, I wanted to blow for longer, but I just kind of let it stop. I'm not going to force the note out. So if you come to that note and say if the note just doesn't want to speak, or you hear some airiness, what's happening is that your aperture is way too big, and so then your lips stop vibrating because they're not in the right place to vibrate and to kind of vibrate and make that note happen. So just, you got to bring the aperture size, just make it smaller for that note to come out. Another reason why that sound might have stopped is because maybe I was using too much mouthpiece pressure. Maybe you're using too much mouthpiece pressure up there. So a good tip for that is to loosen up the left hand grip. Loosen up the left hand grip. Also too, pretend as if you have something in the middle, but in between your hand and the trumpet. Have some space between there so you're not tempted to grasp it like this. So loosen up the left hand grip and then play it that way. Play this exercise this way. All right, now let's start on C sharp. Go up until we hit F. It's all slurred. Hold it out. Relax and release. So the goal is to be able to play this F or any note effortlessly, so as easy as possible. So trumpet for me is very kinesthetic, very by feel, because we can't really see what we're doing. So I want you to imagine the easiest note that you can play. You can wake up in the morning and bust this note out with no problems. What is that note for you? Is that low C? Is that G in the staff? Is that C in the staff? And then what you're gonna do is transfer that same feeling. So I need you to be a little bit more aware of what you're doing, how you feel while you play that note, and transfer that feeling to each and every note that you play. And that's really how I like to get a more effortless approach to trumpet playing. Is I always compare it to my easiest note. And so that's what we're doing now today. Is we started on our easiest note. Generally, we added notes until we got to F, and then we're subtracting notes in the second section. All right. So now let's start on D. Let's start on D. Go D, D sharp, E, F. Nice. So let's say you're having trouble with these notes. If you're having trouble and you're getting a double buzz, and so what is a double buzz? A double buzz is two buzzes happening at the same time in your lips, and all that means is that one, your airstream isn't focused, like it's going in different directions. And then two, your air isn't fast enough. Your airstream isn't fast enough. So how do we correct that? How do we correct that double buzz? So say if you're trying to do this and you're getting a double buzz. Now, what I want you to, as far as the focused, having a focused airstream, I want you to think about and actually do is imagine all of the air that you're blowing out is going straight into the cup and it's not going anywhere else. So make sure that the corners of your embouchure are nice and firm, creating a nice seal around the mouthpiece. So you can do this. Just blow air through the mouthpiece, and I want you to be aware of, is there any air coming out on the sides? If that's the case, then I need you to firm this up, firm up the corners. If it's not, then you're cool. Now, how do we correct the slow air and try to get that faster? I just want you to imagine, get a piece of paper, have this visual, get a paper close to your mouth. The farther the paper is away from your mouth, the faster the air is. The closer the paper is to your mouth, the slower the air is. So I want you to do those two things, and I go over those. I went over that briefly, but go to my video that's called "Why You Can't Play Effortlessly," and I go deep into those two concepts, so you don't get a double buzz. All right, enough of that. Now let's play number 6 of section 2. So we're gonna do D, D sharp, E, F. I'm kind of losing my spot. If we did that already, we'll do it again. But let's play D, D sharp, E, F. All slurred at a piano, piano dynamic. And we're just gonna crescendo just a little bit. All right, D, D sharp, E, F. All right, so it should sound like that. Make sure it's nice and smooth, right? Make sure it should sound really nice and smooth. So make sure the air is consistent from start to finish. All right, now let's do number 7. We're gonna start on D sharp. We're gonna go D sharp, E, F. So we're taking away notes and we're getting ready to just hit that F, bam, right on the spot, right on the money. Just through these simple exercises, really. All right, so let's play D sharp, E, F. Now, for time purposes, I'm not playing the note until my air runs out, because I feel like at this level, for me, if I run out, it will take a long time for me to run out of air, because I know how to play this note efficiently. All right, now number 8, let's start on E and go to F. So there's only one note prep before going to F. And stay tuned, we still got more stuff to go. This isn't the last thing, because then after this, we're going to do some target practice. And target practice is something really you gotta practice, because in music you're gonna have times where you play one note on the downbeat and you have to play it right. And you can't chip it, you can't scoop up into it, you gotta play it right on the money. Okay, so stay tuned for that. If you want to support the channel, please go ahead and like the video if you like it, share the video. If you want the PDF to this lesson, go ahead and go to patreon.com/theblacktrumpeter, or just click the first link in the description, either above or below this video. All right, let's do number 8. We're gonna have one note prep, E to F. It also helps. Also helps to be able to hear these notes. So sing as much as possible. So if you can't play right now, because I know it's late, I want you to sing. So whatever I'm playing, sing it right after me so you get the note in your head, so that you have more success of playing the note. If you're not thinking about pitch, then that's going to be a lot harder to kind of really target it. So please sing as much as possible. You don't have to be the greatest singer to sing, all right? But you just got to learn how to match pitch. That is vital for trumpet playing. All right, so no prep. So we did some addition, we did subtraction. Now there's no prep, and now we have to just play this note right when we need to. So with that being said, this is when I bust out the metronome and try to play this note in time. So we're gonna play this at 60 BPM. 60 BPM. So I'm gonna turn on the metronome. We're gonna get it rocking with the metronome. And I'm just using, just search Google. You can go on Google, type in metronome, and you got a free metronome that you can use anytime. So no fancy stuff here. All right. Can you guys hear that metronome, that click? All right, so now let's play. I want you to just repeat after me. So it's going to be, is that F? Let's see. F, 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 rest, ready. So F, 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 2, 3, 4, right? Really simple. I'm not here to complicate life for any trumpet player out there. Life is already complicated enough. So just repeat after me. After I play, then you play. Or I play, you sing, just to get in your head. Here we go. Last time. Now, you notice how my tone wasn't the greatest on each one of those notes. On the second note, it was less than ideal. So what I would do is I would start over and try to get 3 times in a row perfectly. All the notes sounding the same and no blips, no blops, no flips, no flops. Right? But we're going to cut this video down. We don't want to be here all night, all day. But also notice, besides that mishap, notice my articulation. I use a do, mostly a tenuto articulation, making sure that all the notes are touching. Do, 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 do. So what this does is really test your efficiency of your airstream. Is your airstream consistent, blowing consistently straight and not wavering, right? Also, too, it's going to test your articulation, how softly you can interrupt the airflow without it being so abrupt. right? So I like to do two types. I like to be on two separate ends of the spectrum when it comes to articulation. My longest of long, my tenuto, and then the shortest of short, making it super percussive. And so this is what we're going to do next. We're going to do the same exercise, but we're going to make these notes super short. And what we're listening for is just a percussive sound, very accurate, getting the note to pop. Dot, 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 dot. That last second to last pitch wasn't on point, but we're gonna play it that short. Now the first way I played it all do. Now we're gonna play this with a dit. I want you to say dit. Dit, 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 dit. That's how we're gonna articulate. And this is really gonna test your accuracy, because you're gonna then try not to overshoot the note or undershoot the note. So this is why I like to do a shorter articulation as well. So here we go. Now doing it this way, as far as target practice is very practical. I was just playing I played a gig the other night, and you gotta hit the note right on the money. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, and so you have to practice things like this single note target practice. So I like to incorporate all of these things. The first section we went over addition. So we just added notes until we got to our target note that we're having trouble with. So that's tip number one. And then tip number two is that we subtracted notes in the second section, where our highest note that we're reaching for is the goal. So we hold that out, but we subtract the number of prep notes to get us to that note until we're able to play this note with no prep whatsoever. And that's the goal, to be able to play any note on the trumpet, no matter how low, how high, how loud, how soft, at the drop of a dime. And so we do need to practice things like this. And the reason why we're doing it this way, because scales are easy. Usually the common tip is to use tongue slurs to help with range, but tongue slurs can be difficult, especially for my less experienced players out there, because the intervals are so big. So if you use tiny intervals to kind of help you get up to those notes, that's going to help you learn each and every single note efficiently. And then once you feel comfortable with that, then spread out to bigger intervals. So I like to start with what's easy. What's easy on the trumpet is scale your motion. If we can't play that, if we can't play scale your motion at an easy approach, effortless approach, then we need to work on that, because it's not going to get any easier from there. That's probably the easiest you can get. is scale your motion, right? So this is how I go through any note. So if you take this approach and approach any note that you're trying to get, it doesn't have to be F. It can be any note, depending on where you are in your trumpet journey, right? So this is my process. So hopefully this was insightful to you. This was a live lesson, I think the first one of the year. So happy New Year to everyone that's watching. If you need additional help, I do provide private lessons. And you can go to lessonswithaaron.as.me.freelesson. I know that sounds crazy, but I'll put a link down below. Let's see if I can put it in the chat. There we go. So if you need any help and you need some feedback, just go ahead and contact me, schedule a lesson, and I'll take a look. I'll take a listen to whatever you got that's going on. All right. So don't forget to like the video, share the video with your friends, subscribe if you're new, right? And yeah, any questions so far? Any questions? I know I haven't paid attention at all to the chat, but I appreciate everybody that's here. I just want to go through these exercises real quick. Let's put on some music so it's not so stale up in here. Any questions so far? I'll stay for a couple minutes to answer questions. Naeem, we appreciate you making these videos, man. They really help. Thank you so much. I'm glad they help. I try to do the best I can to provide some value to folks that need it. Any questions? Any questions? Go ahead and like the video. It helps the channel grow. I'm trying to get to 50K. Help me get to 50K this year. Help me get to 50K subscribers this year. And then after that, we on to 100,000. Help me get there by subscribing to the channel, telling your friends. Any questions? We got yes, sir. I don't know if you're still here, but I'm a professional trumpet player. I still go back to your videos just for that extra help. Thanks, man. That's unbelievable. That's crazy. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much. We got Chad in the building. You helped me play the trumpet better in 2020. Thank you, man. Stay blessed. You as well, Chad. Any questions? We got Zach M. Do you recommend wide throat mouthpieces? I'm gonna be super honest and real. I have no idea. I have no idea. As far as equipment goes, technique first. Technique first. And I know the throat has something to do with the feel of, if you feel like if the trumpet feels like tight, or if you feel a lot of back pressure. So I'm guessing you're asking the question because if you're asking for a wider throat, you're probably asking about having a more free-blowing feel to the instrument, and that's on an individual basis. Whatever feels good to you that allows you to play the trumpet efficiently, I would say go with that. Try stuff out. So sorry I can't help in that aspect. I'm definitely not the one to go to when it comes to equipment questions. I'm gonna be super honest and real with y'all right now. So I appreciate the question though. Dexter saying I'm gonna try that with high C. Yeah, try that with any note you're doing. Scale your motion. Scale your motion. Some chromatics. Really get familiar with every single note and how they sound, how they feel, everything. Cell Pingo says just missed it. We'll look it up if it is posted. It will be posted. It will be posted in for replay. So don't worry about that. After we're done here, it should be up and ready so you can check it out. Thank you some time ago for giving me advice on lung capacity. What did I tell you? What advice did I tell you? Because I'm really not sure. However some time ago was. Please share with the group. It's rough trying to hit it. Will this work for that? It should. I do it with all notes that I'm having trouble with. Now, probably another level to this is to try to do air attacks as well. That's even more challenging, but you're gonna develop a better sense of where that note is in your oral cavity, the type of air you need, and all that. If you can start the note with the air attack, you got it, especially at a soft dynamic. Because if we can play notes at a soft dynamic, we got it. Or, relatively soft. The higher you go, the easier or the more challenging it is to play softer. Let's see. Hey Aaron, I used to play lead trumpet in stage band in high school. I was able to hit high F on most days. I haven't played my trumpet in 30 years. What do you recommend for me to get back playing? And how do I not have the mentality that I should be able to play like I could 30 years ago? Man, trumpet is somewhat like riding a bike almost. Especially if you've practiced a lot before. So it's just a matter of muscle memory and just being patient with your embouchure development. So what was your question? What do you recommend for me to get back playing? I definitely recommend going slow, doing long tones for sure. I'm a big proponent of long tones. Get familiar with each note again. Strengthen up, and that helps just strengthen up the corners, strengthen up the aperture. Well, not the aperture, the embouchure. I have a routine. I have a routine on my channel. It's called the back in shape routine, and it's just like a couple of really easy exercises that should help you get back into shape as far as like the really hard like the fundamentals of trumpet playing. Can you start a note? Can you make sure that those notes are sound the same with some interval practice? We do some chromatic stuff in there to get the fingers moving. We do some very simple lip slurs or tongue slurs in there. So I crafted that routine for myself when I lost my chops, and it really helped just kind of solidify the bare minimum of just trumpet playing in general. So go ahead and check that video out. It's called Back to School Routine, but it's also Back in Shape Routine. Check that out. It's a video. I go through all the exercises. You can play along with it, and good luck, my man. That's amazing that you're getting back to the trumpet after all this time. I'm 30 years old, so that was like 1991, 1990. I'll be 31 this year. We got Lou. Nice job, Mr. Aaron. Put the F to use playing Freddie's First Light. I'm gonna have to check that tune out. Everybody check out Lou. His high notes are crazy. I remember the big band with the Peoria, Peoria, not Peoria, but the normal, was it the normal big band? Normal, Illinois. What's up, King? Happy New Year, 2022. Oh man, we got a whole bunch of comments. All right. All right, other than Clark, what is a good exercise for finger speed? Chromatics. Chromatics. Also, it's not a particular exercise, but I would say switch to your left hand. Switch to your left hand. So for instance, let's see. Sticky third valve, but switching to the left hand, your brain is going to freak out because it's like, oh my goodness, what is this? And so everything becomes like 10 times harder when you have to play it with your left hand. And so what I would do is, if I have a tricky passage, and it's always something with that doggone third finger, I would take it to the left hand, play it slower, and then get it up to speed a little bit. And then once that feels pretty good in my left hand, man, as soon as you switch to that right, your fingers are gonna fly, because it's a brain thing. I don't really know the scientific, why that works, but it works. So anytime you have something tricky finger wise, switch to your left hand, try to play it like slow as a turtle. I don't know if that's a term or a saying, but it's really slow. And then once you speed it up a little bit, go back to the right hand, it's gonna feel like butter for sure. So it's not really exercise, but it's just a concept of how to practice finger speed. Good question. Good question, guy. Eric Carter says, everybody on here should join Aaron's Patreon if you haven't. My man is giving expert knowledge basically for free. Let's all support. Eric, man, I appreciate you for saying that, for one, and then two, being a part. Oh, about the guy you was talking about, the lung capacity thing. So you told me that just like me, you had asthma. You recommend cardio and the breathing gym. I think that's the name. I do recommend exercise for sure. Deep breathing. Probably at this stage right now, I wouldn't say and nothing against the breathing gym at all, but definitely check out do I have that book? I don't have it on me right now. Wait. Definitely check out this book. This book, The Hindu Yogi Science of Breath, learning how to breathe correctly. And that's really going to help for sure. Learning how to breathe correctly. Lou says, best advice I've seen on Facebook about a mouthpiece question. Never had money to play with equipment, so I just learn with whatever and had a decent career. Just play and adapt to suit your own response and feel. Great advice. Thank you, Lou. Hey man, like I'm in the same boat. Like I've been rocking with the same mouthpiece and the same trumpet for years. The mouthpiece alone I've been playing since high school. And I mean, it's a money thing, but it's also at the time my fundamentals weren't together at all. They weren't together. So instead of blaming the equipment, I blamed myself. I need to get my act together as far as the fundamentals. And then after that, then I would say go to equipment, because I mean for me, equipment is something that enhances your playing. It's not a cure, if that makes sense. For me, in my humble opinion. Yes, the HJO for sure. What's up, Jess? Jess says, I want to hit a high C above the staff consistently. I just want to know your advice. So go throughout this video. Once it's uploaded, and it's the same process. So as far as the high C, I would do scale your motion up to that note. And the thing is the reason why I do it this way is that I get practice playing that note as much as possible. So even if you fail, your body is going to figure out, okay, how can I play this note? It's going to figure out the most efficient way to try to do that, or any possible way to do that. So what I recommend is, it's really simple. Just play the chromatic scale up to there. Play the chromatic scale, play some scales, but play that note or try to play that note as much as possible. I mean, like maybe every day, definitely daily. Because you're going to get accustomed to playing that note eventually. The thing is, with in the beginning of my development, I was too afraid to play high notes, only because I thought it would do something to my sound, and I didn't want to sound a particular way. And I also was afraid to play high notes because I thought I would just hurt myself constantly. But that's simply not true. If you know the technique of playing higher notes, you shouldn't hurt yourself. It should be as easy. It should be as easy as breathing. Easy as your easiest note. So I know that's a very long answer. Play simple things like scales and try to play it every day. That's my advice. Also go through this, watch this video and see how I use scales, so you can apply the same concept to that high C. Because this concept is not just for one particular note, it's for any note that you're having trouble with. Wendell says, question, I have to have dental work done. What can I expect as far as embouchure work and playing? I'm not sure. I've never really had any major dental work done. I've avoided getting my wisdom teeth taken out for the longest. I still got them in my mouth. I still got my wisdom teeth because I can't imagine just like being off the trumpet for that long, for weeks on end. So that's why I've kind of put wisdom teeth extraction off for so long. But if there's anyone in this chat, there's 25 people watching, and even on the replay, if you have any advice for Wendell on dental work, please share. as much as possible. Sorry, I can't answer that question, but I've never had dental work done because I'm just too afraid to do it. And luckily, my teeth are in somewhat good shape, to where it's not an emergency. Dennis, just found your videos. Great advice and practice takes tips. Thanks for everything you're doing. Thanks, Dennis. For sure. My first trumpet teacher told me that the main piece of equipment needing development is the body, for sure. The body and the mind. So as trumpet players, we kind of psych ourselves out a little bit. I know I do. So the mind, also the mind. Got to develop the body and the mind. Oh, we got some advice. We got Dexter saying, I've been there with dental work. Listen to the dentist. You'll be off for a while. So there you go. Listen to the dentist. Whatever they say goes. Whatever they say goes. Thank you for that, Dexter. Got two can't. Hey man, it's been a while since I've tuned into your streams. If you could, what would be something you would say to your high school self? Well, that's a really interesting question. That's a great question. As far as playing goes, I would say to my younger self, ask more questions. Ask more questions. Be extremely curious and don't be afraid to annoy people with your questions. Because the more questions you ask, the closer you get to the truth or some version of it. Because when I was in high school, I kind of just took everybody for their word. I didn't question anything, my teachers or nothing. I just, okay, they're giving me the information. This is the information I need. And so I don't need to look elsewhere. I don't need to answer any questions. And the problem with that is that I didn't take responsibility of my own learning. I put 100% of my learning onto my teachers, and that's not good. If you're a student of anything, you should be curious. Be curious, ask questions. Don't be afraid to look like a fool if you don't know the answer. So if I were to tell my high school self something, it would be ask questions. Ask questions. Speak up. Don't think that the teacher is going to teach you everything. You have to be responsible for your own learning. Nobody else is going to be responsible for teaching you the things that you need to know. So that goes with anything in life. If you want to learn something you don't know anything about, you got to go after it. No one's going to hand you the knowledge. So yeah, that's what I would say. Great question. Let's see. Man, it's been an hour. Man, this stuff just flies by, man. I love being live. Crusaders Racing. I think you're new. I don't think I've ever seen you before, but thank you for being here. I decided to join jazz band today. Do you have any tips on stuff I could do to improve? Improve what? Because there's a lots of things in that area that you can improve on. Are you a section player? Are you a lead player? Or do you want to improvise? One thing is, Um, One thing that you can do to improve for sure is to listen to jazz. And I know I mean, it's simple, but people just don't listen to the music that they're playing. And so, how can you play a music that you've never listened to before? Now, I'm just saying that as a buffer. Let's say you listen to the music, and so you got that. Check. You listen to the music. What's next? Articulation and feel. What are you listening for? You're listening for how the music is supposed to go. So, how does Freddie Hubbard swing versus the way Miles Davis swings? What does Miles Davis's eighth note or quarter note sound like versus Art Farmer's quarter note? There's different types of swings and swing feels. So ask those questions. Learn music by ear. Practice a variety of articulations. Do, dot, dit. Do, da, dit. Da. I know this probably doesn't make any sense, but it will. So listen to the music. Play as much as you can by ear, and play along with it. So you can really absorb the sound of the music and be one with it. The goal when you're playing along with anything, whether it's jazz, funk, rock, or whatever, you want somebody to walk across your practice room or your room and say dang, is that the recording? Man, that trumpet just sounds too loud. Right? You want to seem as if you want to play as if you're a part of that band and you're one with that band, and it just seems like the mix is turned up on the trumpet. Does that make sense? So that's my advice right now. If anyone else has advice, for sure, share. Lil Ben Lopez says, do you consider band as a sport? This is always a question. It's a very interesting question. Do I consider band a sport? I would say yes. And the only reason why is because we use the same muscles, the same types of muscles. They're just smaller. That's all. Physical activity, like playing a 3 or 6 hour show, that's, you got to be in shape for that, man. Like playing a 3-hour wedding, there's no DJ. It's the band playing the entire night from maybe 6:30 to 1 a.m. That, you gotta be in shape. you dancing, you're entertaining, playing the trumpet, wearing a hot suit. Like, if that's not a sport, I don't know what is. Cause I'm sweating by the end of the night. Let's see. Man, you guys are just coming with it with the questions. That's dope. Gage, I think, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. Gage. Hello, Aaron. Good afternoon from, is that Hong Kong? HK? I'm always watching your videos, and it helps me a lot learning how to play trumpet at my age 44. Can you give me some tips and advice to excel? Thank you. God bless and keep safe. At age 44, it's the same tips I give anyone at any age. Is I think the first and most important is no matter practice every day. Practice as much as you can. And I don't mean like 1 hour sessions, 2 hour sessions. I'm talking about at least give me 5 minutes per day. No, I'm gonna say at least give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes per day on the trumpet and never miss a day. Never miss a day. Play the trumpet every day, 2 minutes a day. That's it. Because what you're gonna find out is you're not just gonna play trumpet for 2 minutes and then just pack it up, right? Hopefully you don't. Because the trumpet requires a level of discipline and a discipline and patience that even my 70-year-old students don't have or struggle to have. You need patience and you need diligence and discipline, and so it's all about consistency with the trumpet. That's my biggest advice. So whatever you're gonna do, however long you're gonna practice, make sure you carve out that time every single day, and don't try not to miss too many days, because what's going to end up happening if you miss too many days, you can't make that time up. And trumpet is not like a class or a course. So if you miss a week, you can't make up for that week. You can't practice. You can't say, oh, like I didn't practice for a week. I'm gonna take 5 hours, take that 5 hours, and I'm gonna practice everything that I missed for that week. You can't. You're gonna hurt yourself. So trumpet is all about consistent, slow growth. So be patient with yourself, and you'll get there, wherever there is. So good luck, have fun. Also remember to have fun. And yeah, be consistent, be patient, and you'll get better no matter what age you are. I have a 7-year-old that I'm teaching, and I got a 70-year-old. And I talk about the same stuff no matter what age you are. What's up, Lecter? What's up, Emma? If I wanted to join a jazz band and want to improve my improv skills, is there anyone you recommend listening to? Any one person? Not one person. Everyone says Chet Baker, Miles Davis. Everyone says that. But you know, what if you listen to that and you just don't vibe with it, right? So and not to say they're not great musicians, because they are. But my advice to you is to listen to a lot of people. As many people as you can, as many artists, and not just trumpet players. Listen to as many people, because you're going to, as you listen, you're going to develop your taste. You're going to be like, oh, I really dig this person. Oh, they do something really cool. And then you're going to develop your own taste of what you like. So I'm not just going to tell you, listen to Miles Davis and listen to Chet Baker, because there's more people out there that have played this music at a high level. So listen to everybody. Listen to as many people as you can, as many musicians as you can. If you want to improve your improv skills. So I think improv skills, if you want to improve that, then you have to get your fundamentals in order. Again, fundamentals. So you got to know your scales. I'm not saying you got to know all the scales, but you have to have some level of technique to play, to be able to improvise at a certain level. So be able to play your major scales. That's like That's really high on my list when it comes to improv. Like, be able to play at least all 12 major scales. I have them on my channel so you can learn them, and learn them by memory. But not only that, learn your major scales and extend them past an octave. So for instance, let's say C major, the people's key. The lowest possible note that you can play in C major is low G. Now the highest note, like that, yeah, that can go on forever, but say you take a C major scale, you're not going to start on C. You're going to start on the lowest note that you can possibly play in C major and play the entire scale. Right? So, and I'm probably playing too loud. It's about 10 o'clock, going on 11. But play your scales that way. Extended range, just don't play one octave. Play from your lowest note to the highest note that you can play. And do that for all 12 major scales. And you'll be pretty proficient on those scales. Now, listening, as far as improv goes, to put it simply, the more music you know and can play, the better you'll be able to improvise. Just that simple. So it doesn't even have to be jazz music, but learn music by ear and be able to play it on your trumpet. Be able to sing it, and if you can sing it, you can play it. If you can play it by memory, it's internalized. So learn songs that really resonate with you by ear. It's really tough at the beginning, but the more you do it, the better you'll be at it. And the more music you know by memory and by ear, the more your ear will develop and the more ideas you'll have when you go to improvise. So, very long answer. I'm very long-winded, but hopefully that helps. You guys give me some great questions. Any tips for recording trumpet on your phone? Don't play right into your phone. Like, say this is my phone, right? I'm not gonna play straight into it like this. Back up. There we go. Back up. Or record to the side. Like, be as far as you can and don't play directly into the phone, because you might peak the sound. Man, these questions just keep coming in. If you guys keep asking questions, I'll be here all night. Maybe I'll do another live stream, not tonight, but you guys, I gotta head off to bed. I gotta go to sleep. I still haven't eaten dinner yet. But let me answer one more question. I gotta get up out of here. Let's see, which one? What's a good one? You guys are talking amongst yourselves. That's awesome. All right. I think that's it. You guys are really talking amongst yourselves. That's cool. All right, I think I got everything. All right, folks. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the hang. Thanks for hanging out with me here live here on Facebook and YouTube. You guys enjoy your night. Enjoy your day. I'm gonna get out of here. You guys, yeah, my mind is mush. Peace out. Thanks for being here.